Hello everyone, I'm back with a slightly different project from what I usually do. This is a station based on Peco SL99 three-way switches. Now, the way I build tracks is normally just I kind of lay them and play with them and with my kid, and then kind of we tidy them up, and next day or next week we're going to do something else, so I don't have any permanent track. As a result, I tend to use standard Hornby tracks for the most part because they just kind of fit very well together. But I could just not resist the urge to buy the Peco SL99s. So they're super cool. They go three-way, and you can have like a nice station just with basically two of these. The trick is they are not of standard length. So you put yourself like you have the switch, then you have some straights and stuff, but they don't come back together. And as a result, for example, this is the best I could do with standard tracks so far, and I'm having a problem. Yeah, so I'm going with SL99, 600, a little curve, 643, 601s, and you can have, I guess, however many 601s, 600s you want in order to have as long as of a station as you want. But the trick is we need some custom bits. So I have this 601, which I need to cut the size. With that said, let's go on the computer, let's go on the CAD, and I'll show you how I ended up with this setup.
So here we are using the CAD. I am using a piece of software called AnyRail that probably most of you have heard about. I'm using it as a fast prototyping. So how does this work? So basically you start a project and then like a file new, like the usual Windows way. And I'm using a project I already started, but the base idea is you're starting with a project. Now you go into track libraries, and let's say in my case, because I'm interested in combining a Peco and a Hornby track, I'm going to go in HO, which is the Peco ones, and I'm going for Peco Streamline Code 100, which is the library which contains the SL99. So here you have all of the tracks with a bit of a extra information when you hover above the tracks. So my SL99 is down here. It says it's a three-way turnout. 22 centimeter turnout is the Peco name for a three-way switch, I'm guessing. So you kind of pull it here, bring it over, and then you have your SL99. Now again, I'm gonna delete it because I already have it here. And so how do we add some Hornby? So close this one up. I'm closing them just because I don't have screen space for everything. So OO. Is it all Hornby standard track, I guess? Yep, that's the one. And here's my 600. Now, how do you connect a track to another track? Let's say you take this one. I mean, you can take whichever one, and you kind of hover them into place, and they just kind of snap together. This, what I'm calling here option 3, is let's say my first stab at it. So SL99, this is a given. I want to have it because this is the cool three-way switch. Let's start again this piece in 3, 2, 1. So here's my first test of integrating the Peco SL99. So I have the track here, and there are two objectives. Basically, first of all, is to have a few consecutive tracks, let's say standard tracks, that in terms of length they go more or less 51 centimeters, which is the length of a couple of 600s. And so the first objective is to make them just as long as the standard track, and the other objective is to get it back to straight. Now SL99 is let's see, so it's 22 centimeter long, and the angle it has here is such that it can be more or less brought back to straight by an R643. Now, because the length is a bit random, I just had to add a few R610s, which more or less bring it the same length with a couple of R600s. I am showing here as a comparison. So this is an R612. This is the standard Hornby point, and you put a 606, which you put to go back to straight, and a 600, and we can see the distance. This is quite important for some people, and I guess for me too, to some extent. So the distance between a 606 and 600 is what it is here, is equal. So this is the standard dimension, right? Is equal to what the SL-99 and 643 have, right? So the distance between the tracks is good. So this has to, this means, well, as long as we use the 600 to kind of further it a little bit, so this means we'll have enough space without the coaches smashing into each other or stuff like that. Now, I'm starting with option 3. Let's go to option 2. Option 2 is to use a way bigger curve, which closes by the same amount. So it closes, I think it's 11, let's quickly check, 11.5 degrees. Peco, where are you? Sorry, and Hornby. So the 628 is here. It's 11.25 degrees radius. This is the same as the 643. I'm just going to zoom to it. So 11.25. Worth keeping in mind, the SL-99, although it's not, if you hover here, it won't show it to you. You don't want to do that. If you hover on top of it, it will not tell you that it actually bends at 12 degrees, so not 11.25. And this will lead to some problem, which we'll see on the next option. Anyway, here I'm having, so the 643 is bringing it back to straight. Here I'm using a 628. Obviously the length is much bigger. We need to put more 610s to bring it into a length reasonably comparable with the Hornby layout. The thing is, the distance between the tracks is larger than the standard Hornby distance. Now, larger is better, right? It is larger because I put this R600. If I am to take this, on the other hand, let's say I delete it from here, and I bring the 628 and connect it straight, then the distance will be way too lower. So we don't want to do that, because then, you know, standard OO or HO coaches and locos will probably smash into each other when they go one next to the other. So we still need an R600 to kind of move this siding further away from the main line. So this is one other way of doing it. If you have R628s, but then you need to cut different, let's say, custom bits. And the one that I showed you initially that I ended up building, and here I prototyped the whole thing, is a full station with SL-99 as standard Hornby track. So what do I have here? So my idea again is to integrate this piece into a Hornby layout. So I have here as a comparison 4 consecutive R601s, and I want the station to be the same length. Now I have used the first option, so straightening the track with R643. As you can see, because the 99, for example, here moves up by 12 degrees and the 643 moves down by 11.25, so we're left with this doesn't quite join. Now, I'm writing here 1 degree. It's just under 1 degree missing, so 0.75 degrees, which gives you a bit of a distance, and there's really nothing I can do about it. But the distance is so small. I'm perfectly happy to just pull the 601 a little bit down and connect them together. It will add a bit of stress on the tracks. Will it be too much? I don't think so. It's just 1 degree. I mean, how bad can it be? And then we're left with 2 other issues. First of them is that this 600 and this 600, they overlap, for a few centimeters, so obviously one of them will have to be cut to size. You can also use a 601, let's say from the 99 on the right hand side all the way here, and cut that to size. But no matter what we do, we need at least one custom part for the middle, and then we might need another custom part here on the side in order. So here I placed, let me see if I can zoom in, I placed a couple of 6/10s just to kind of bring it to level, but if you're looking a bit quite carefully, it's actually not quite level. There are a few centimeters too much by using 2 6/10s. So I might have to go with a custom track on this side too. So we can see now what I want to build, where the problem may lie. First of all, here it doesn't quite join. Here I need to cut a custom piece, and here potentially I need to cut another custom piece. We get all of this right, and it feels like it's somewhat of a painless process. We should be able to integrate the SL-99 standard Hornby track with just some standard Hornby track. So let's see in practice how the theory works.
Alright, so here's how I'm planning to build the station. This is an R600 Hornby. My intention is to cut it to size so that it matches this piece. In order to do that, I'll put a bit of a scratch at the point I need to cut. No, I don't want to cut it with the scissors, no. I will not use this to cut the rail. I will use it only to cut the sleepers. So the sleepers will go like this. There we are. Sleepers are out. Hope you can see it. I have this little trace here where I'm going to cut. And in order to cut, to have a nice clean cut, I will use a Dremel. As usual, pay attention. You can look on YouTube exactly how to do these cuts. Some people have a rail clipper. I don't have, so I'm just gonna use this method. Let's see. Bit hot. So here we are. Cut to size. Let's see if it matches. And it does. All I need to do now is put a fish plate on this side and we're good to go. So here we are. We have the station kind of built. If you remember on the CAD though, the length of the station is ever so slightly less than for R600s in continuity. So here's what I've done. Here's how I'm going to fix that. So they are aligned here, and I superposed 4 R600s on top. So they are nicely well aligned, and I go all the way here, and so I expect the station is on one side and this will be on the kind of other side of the loop. So what I'll have to do is cut another small piece of this R601 and have them perfectly aligned here so they can complete the loop. So let's do it. perfect match ish. We'll put some sleepers and let's build a loop. Here's the whole loop with the station based on SL-99 Peco, and everything else is Hornby stuff. So let's just recap. Starting from this side, I'm starting from the curve with the SL-99, Peco SL-99. A 601, then a curve. So 600s are here, 643s are here. Then staggered 600s and La Pièce de Résistance custom cut 601 here. Then another small piece here, and that's the total. It turned out quite alright, kinda like it. Here it is, an overview. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this.